G'day Bomber fans, sorry about the late video. I had a busy Friday. I was also pretty crook as well, but it was an excellent day, a lovely day. As soon as I saw that Cal Toomey tweet, it set me up for a perfect weekend. You of course know what I'm referring to. You would have seen the title. Ben McKay has reportedly requested a trade to Essendon. Pretty much everyone in the industry has confirmed this. Their list manager even has come out and spoken of it, so it's happening. McKay wants to play for Essendon, which is just awesome news for us. It's been a really eventful week with this McKay saga. Sydney were seen as the favourites at the start of the week. Then McKay told them he wants to stay in Victoria, which narrowed it down to the Hawks and Bombers. There was news about that Hawthorn monster contract. They were offering more money, more time, but McKay has now chosen us, which is just great. It's always good when you pick up a player despite offering them less. It helps with that Brad Scott link, his first AFL coach. He has friends at Essendon. Jordan Ridley and him are close mates. You got the fact that his manager, Adam Ramanauskas, was an Essendon player. I've seen some say he supported Essendon. I can't confirm that, but really the links are there through many layers. There's also the pull of the marquee games. Unfortunately for teams like Hawthorn, they aren't as big and there aren't those events players can look forward to. You won't see them playing in front of 80 to 90,000 large crowds. We luckily have Anzac Day and Dreamtime and those big rivalries. I'm sure that was mentioned in our pitch and helped in his decision to come over to us. So what does this mean? He has told North he wants to play with us, but does that mean he just walks through the Tullamarine doors? Not really. He is a restricted free agent, which means any offer we put forward to him contract-wise, North can match, which would force a trade between the two clubs. North want to keep him, obviously, but they don't want to do it against his will. The reason they would match to force a trade would be because they don't feel they are compensated enough through the allocated draft pick that the AFL would give them, which depends on the contract we offer. It's all very confusing if you're only just getting into it all. So to sum it up really, if the compensation North received from us wouldn't be a band 1 tier, which would give them a top 5 draft pick, they will match it and make us pay up through a trade. What do we need to do to ensure it's band 1? It seems to be a contract worth roughly 800k, give or take, is what I see people say. The AFL decide. It's not something we really have in front of us as fans, but from the sound of things, the contract we are offering will ensure North let him walk because it's apparently a lot. So let's say it's straightforward and he comes over. Where does he fit into our team? He slides right into where BZT was realistically. It's more than an improvement really, it's a godsend because BZT, as good as he is at intercepting, he is not really capable against the biggest key forwards. McKay doesn't get bullied that much. He can match it against Hawkins and Hogan. He doesn't really let them off the leash. He is a big body himself, tall and strong. I think if we kept BZT, he would be under selection pressure anyway because of McKay. So now we have a big strong key back that can intercept. We have Laverty or Baldwin to play on the smaller keys and Ridley our third who impacts other contests. I'm really keen to see Ridley in 2024 because I think this McKay deal helps him out a lot. You often saw Ridley forced to swap out opponents with BZT if he was being beaten soundly, but I don't think we will see that as much. Ridley should have more freedom from this move, which is great. For those not really familiar with McKay, I'm going to highlight the best and worst of him. So he's actually averaged the most intercept marks in 2022. He averaged the second most in 2023, equal second most I should say. He gets up there for interceptions in general, but his best work is in the air. He has a respectable one-on-one loss rate, which I think is impressive considering he has only ever played at a footy team, at the worst team in the league, with the ball being pumped down there so often. I would say his weakest asset is his ball use. He isn't as trustworthy with ball in hand, so you'll probably see Andy or Ridley running behind for the hand pass. He also isn't as mobile around the ground as BZT, I reckon. He isn't slow, but he isn't fast. I would worry about him playing on a mobile key forward, but really the last issue is his body. So there was news earlier in the week that McKay had some questions raised in his medical at both clubs, specifically surrounding his knee, which bothered him in stages last year. Not as much this season. I should say it's rare to find an athlete pass a medical with flying colours, but we should be wary of that knee. He has had injury issues in the past. He missed a lot of footy early in his career. Between 2017 and 2020, he played just 15 games. The good news is, since then, he hasn't dropped under 15 matches in a season, so he has shown durability more as he reached his physical peak. Hopefully that continues with us. Now, what does this mean for developing players like Zach Reid and Lewis Hayes? I saw some suggest that they should be given time instead instead of us going for McKay. Easier said than done. With Hayes, I don't really see him being a first-team option at all in 2024. It's still about development for him. He's very lean, very raw. Zach Reed, I don't trust him to lead a line right now. I hope I can be proven wrong eventually because he's a top 10 draft pick, but he's still so fresh to the system. But his body is not holding up early days. I think eventually we will be looking to play Reed and McKay together, maybe, especially against double-pronged big key forward attacks. But right now, I can't see that happening. Reed would need a huge preseason. But really, that's all. I'm going to give you more of a trade update next week with Gresham and Goldstein. There's a bit happening there. But just a little McKay video today for the weekend. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, comment down below your thoughts with this move, and as always, go Bombers.